Look at that. Helps when you take yourself off mute. Thank you, Richard, for letting me know. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Rainier. And thank you for letting me know there's no sound. That's always a good thing. What I was saying earlier before we run into the sound issue, today is World Philosophy Day. That is time to sit back and think about what you're doing, think about what's going on, think about things. We got Thanksgiving coming up next week, right upon us. So we did have kind of a really, I'd say a poor show. Well, poor showing would be overstatement for trivia night last night. We didn't have anyone show up. It's okay. Just need to know so we don't do it again. If we don't need to do it, we're not going to do it. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and honestly, a lot of money to put those things together. So if we're not going to have a turnout, we're probably going to just stop doing them. And that's the philosophical, whatever, philosophical is the word I'm trying to say, debate for the morning. So I'm taking my cup of coffee and I'm gonna think about what we got going on. So we're going to go on a little bit of a hiatus. We're not going to be here tomorrow. We're not going to be here all next week. We're taking the week off for Thanksgiving. We're taking an additional day off tomorrow. So we're not going to do a live show tomorrow. We're not going to do a live show next week. To try to well, we're not going to try. We're going to evaluate what direction. We always look at companies and what their security program is. This morning we're going to look at this company, Cyber Recon. As you know, Cyber Recon puts on Cup of Cyber and the training events and the Cyber Trivia Night and all of that other stuff, the other stuff that goes along with it. So we're going to take some time. We're going to sit back. We're going to think about what we're doing. Is it going the right direction? Is it doing the things that we need to do to support you guys, the community, and make corrections and change things before we come back? So we'll take some time off. We'll think about what's going on. We got some plans. If you think there's something that we're doing right, doing wrong, let me know, because we're out there. We kind of, we're in a way winging this because nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is talking about security every morning. Nobody else getting up in the morning and talking about this. Nobody else is doing what we're doing. And just trying to see if we're going the right direction. It does. I'm telling you guys, to be here at 7:30 takes a bit of time and a bit of effort. Not saying it's not worth it. I want you guys to tell me if it's worth it or not. For me, cool. I'm all for it. But you tell me. We've kind of slowed down. A lot of things have slowed down. The subscription rates have slowed down. The view time has slowed down. A lot of stuff has gone down. So does that mean we're doing the wrong thing? That could be. We are here. Our purpose of this company, because it is a company, it's an LLC, incorporated in Virginia. We do have to make some money to pay people like Mako and Emily to do the things they do, and that's why we do the training club courses. You tell me, are we going the right direction? You tell me as the customer. Essentially, you guys are the customer of this company. Are we doing the right thing or the wrong thing? We don't hardly ever see anything in comments. I did get some good comments yesterday. I'd mistaken two Krebs. And I appreciate the feedback. One second. Appreciate feedback like that when I make a mistake. I was thinking about Brian Krebs, and when Trump fired Chris Krebs, I went on my little rant thinking it was Brian Krebs. Good catch. And I really owe an apology to the folks who put out the wrong thing and kind of having a bit of a rant about Krebs. But still, I mean, I don't know. Still think he stood on his morals. Some of the assumptions I was making about Krebs was thinking he was Brian Krebs. So my mistake. There's Mike. Good morning. Appreciate you guys that show up every morning. Every morning I can count on a certain group of people to be here every day. That's why I want your feedback. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want in this Cup of Cyber. Tell me what content you need, not just in the Cup of Cyber, but the other videos that come out. If you watch the other side of the channel, there's a lot of videos coming out. Mako is way behind on doing thumbnails on them and making sure they're edited right. Like the t-shirt. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, please. Mike, you get the t-shirt. It's at the cyber-recon.com /swag, SWAG. I usually throw it in the show notes. I can show it in the show notes right now, I think. Maybe I can do it. RMF'er shirt. Make sure I spell that shirt right. um, excuse me. There we go. It's in the show notes now. Controls, yeah, well, controls for RMF. Yeah, we started doing that, and actually, you know, not having a plan, a good solid plan for Cup of Cyber, you know, led a little bit to its where it's at. It's good and it's bad. And cold weather's getting me, guys. It's good and it's bad. I think throwing a news story of the day is good. We're almost full circle back to where we came from, back to where we started. Do a news story, do a training event, I like to talk about the little weird history of the day because I like that. I think it's cool to talk about what weird history it is. What history, like World Philosophy Day. Yeah, a lot of people, I think Mike just moving trivia night around was detrimental to it, but I had no choice. I have to work Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and as you guys know, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. We can't, I'd have to have millions of subscribers to be a full-time YouTuber doing this. So I don't do that. I got a day job. I do security engineering during the day, and just on Tuesday and Thursday nights I at work I got to do, so I can't do it Tuesday and Thursday. Monday is when we talk to the RMF folks about the RMF class, so I can't do it that night. And then Friday, people just don't want to do trivia on Friday anymore because the pandemic is up, it's down, it's whatever, and it's not. We did it for a while on Fridays, and people started falling off, so we moved it to Wednesday, the only real available day. So what I really need to know, and I'm really begging you guys, I know like most you guys are great at commenting live. I love to see the live comments, of course. It is a wonderful thing. But what should we be doing? I like the fact that you commented on controls, Mike. Controls are good. We're going to finish up. We're going to finish up the AC control family. We started doing the AC control family. I didn't know if you know that, Mike, and they're kind of wrapped in Cup of Cyber from the early days. And we did AC, like AC1 through AC9, and then we kind of switched format. We're going to pick back up on that. We'll pick back up on that after the break. We'll pick back up on the AC family with revision 5. So we just need to look at the first ones. The first ones probably didn't change a whole lot, but we might have to go back and redo some of those. And then pick up on the AC family with revision 5. And go forward. Yeah. Am I full remote? Yes, I am full remote. Even prior to the pandemic, I was remote. I've been working more and more remote over the last, say, decade. And that's just the way of the world. A lot of people are going this direction. And now it's even more prevalent because of the pandemic. But the company I work for, I would go to headquarters either in Chicago or Dallas once a quarter for a week. But other than that, fully remote. I can do everything I need to do from home. And honestly, that's the big thing. Can you do the tasks you need to do, and can you get them done efficiently? Do you have a space to work out of? Other than that, you don't need to go to an office to do our job. Really, you don't. Unless you're in a SOC or something like that, or you're working hands-on with equipment. Most security can be done anywhere, and that's the paradigm that's being broken right now. Other than government work, there's a lot of government work. You have to go into a SCIF or a secure area. You really can't do anything about that. You got to go there to do it most of the time. But yeah, full remote. I'm full remote. So that takes up a good chunk of my day. I'd love to be able to just do this all day, but those folks that do YouTube all day, they just, I don't know if the security audience would even support that, because you got to have like 1 million subscribers. Maybe there is. I don't know. That's not the point. The point's to take care of the 1 and 2 people that need the knowledge, need the experience, need even guidance. I feel weird being in a position where we're doing that mentorship stuff, but that's where we're at in some of us in our life. So that's where I want to be. I want to be helping folks out, get into the next level, get into the field. So we are. The point is, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be out tomorrow, and we'll be out all next week. We'll be back that week of the 1st, the 30th, and the 1st. We'll be back. We will be back at it again. Yeah, yeah. My whole team is mostly remote. We're all over the country. We have folks all over the country. Um, my last job as a consulting for Booz Allen, was generally remote too. Uh, have to go to client sites with that one. So I'd work from home, doing the tasks I needed to do, and then we'd get on a plane and fly to the client site, see them for a week or so at a time, and then come back. Um, yeah, Mike, that's a good thing. Helping people, that's what we're all about. I mean, there's so many people in this field that just want to help people. You have some folks that are just old and crusty and don't want to do it. But there's a lot of people here that just want to help. Like Alex. Alex, good example. Somebody wants to help. Global operations, Cyber Recon, all remote. That part is, well, I guess technically, Alex, with Cyber Recon, I have to go into the office because this is the only office we have. So I guess that's not all remote. That's all. we are at our headquarters. So that's what I need. Alex came up with some ideas. We're gonna talk probably tomorrow. But we'll see which direction we come out of this thing. I've got some ideas, got some things I want to do. Everyone can sleep in for 10 days. Everyone can. Things I think I want to do, but I want to know your feedback. I want to know your feedback if you're watching live. Throw it in the live stream. Throw it in the comments. If you're watching this on replay later today, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what it is that you would like out of training. I've got a great idea for training. Got a great idea for that direction where I want to go with that. But what do you guys want? What do you want to see in Cup of Cyber? Mike was talking about jobs. You want to talk jobs in general, or specific jobs, or what's out there in the market, or job preparation? There's a lot of stuff, a lot of places we go in with jobs. Sure, jobs is a great idea. How do I not have a actual notebook here today? I've got a yellow pad. Anything you want to expand on that, Mike? Anything to expand on jobs? There we go. What tips can you give the road? You know how I ended up working remote is just having a ton of experience. I was probably in the field almost probably 20 years before I could, and it's not really force remote, but have that as a requirement. And then when you get to a point in your life where people start calling you for jobs, people you meet, that's why you network. Another thing we got to talk about is networking. And Alex he's not networking as a trick, not networking as, a way to scam people or anything like that, but true networking. Alex is a good person at true networking, meeting people, helping connect people that need something. People that one person needs a job, another person needs to hire a person. He's good at putting those people together. That's one thing you got. If you're going to be in this field, you got to network. You got to go to events. You got to go to things like the ISC meetings, the ISACA meetings, the whatever security group you have, B-sides. Go to those events, meet the people. That's half the way you're going to get a job. The other part of working remote is just having a skill set that people need and being the best qualified in that field and be able to say that, I would love to take the job, but the only way I can take it is I've got to work remote. I've turned down plenty of jobs because they want me to go into the office. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not out here in DC. Alex, folks out here in DC, the DMV area, you're driving an hour, you're driving 90 minutes each direction to get to and from work. That's a part-time job, guys. Think about that. Put that into your plan when you're looking for jobs, right? Yeah, a lot of people are remote till COVID-19 is over. You'll be surprised after this is over. There's going to be a push from employees and employers to push more remote. It costs money to have a seat for an employee in a building in a city. Cities have high rent. They do. Some people like to have that flagpole there, but they can shrink the size of the headquarters. Um, yeah, and reduce their cost. It's the way of it. Yeah. Um, Training mentorship program for the RMF jobs. We do have for the jobs themselves. We have the RMF training, and that's going to be expanded fairly rapidly if things go my way. Um, we do have mentorship on the Cyber Recon site. So if you go to cyberrecon.com, there's a link for mentorship. Go there, you can fill out you can be a mentor or you can ask for a mentor. There's a form for each of those out there. If you need a mentor, sign up for a mentor. We don't have a lot of mentors right now. We really don't. So we need more mentors. But if you're looking for a mentor, let me know through that site, through that page. There's a form you're going to have to fill out. But the training is out there, and the training is going to expand, I think, pretty dramatically in the first of the year. No Tupperware clubs for Alex. No, you don't do Tupperware clubs. Aren't the best way to meet people. The best way to meet people is through those security organizations. If you want a job in security, you've got to get in security. And Mike said, Alex, at Alex Gore, yeah, that's the Alex. This one right here, talking about Tupperware. You got to get out. You got to meet people because that's half of it. Because when that company goes looking for that security engineer, that ISO, that person that knows firewalls, if you've been hanging out with these people, you've been going to the meetings, you've been talking with them, you're learning things, and just generally meeting people. Don't go to another thing. Don't go to these meetings, sit in the back corner, watch the presentation, and leave. Don't do that. It's easy. A lot of security people are introverted, and you got to kind of break out of that. I'm not really an extrovert. I really am not. But you got to get out of the mold. You got to get out of that mold. You got to meet the people so that when the person that's looking for a security expert is talking to someone that goes to these meetings, they'll be like, oh, I know a guy. I go to these meetings. I see him all the time. He must be good at security. He or she must be good at security because I always see him at these events. They're always learning. They're always taking notes. They're always talking to people. And let me get him. Let's hook together. Let's hook those people together. Yeah. Yeah. Plush, Mako's plush office. You have that guy be remote. That guy's got an office of the penthouse, man. Mako up there doing his, stuff. So I can give some advice. I think those are great ideas. I think, getting back to controls, that was on the schedule. Looking at jobs. And I really, Mike, what is it really just, how to get remote jobs, how mentorship for jobs, how to apply for jobs, how to interview. Is it all of that? Is it some of that? Inquiring minds want to know what do we need to do to help you guys? What can we do as this company? What can we do as this group of people that we have here? Alex is funny. He'll say things that make him sound, like he's not helping a lot or something, but he is. He's helping a ton of people, not only in this group, the Cup of Cyber Recon group, but in just general in the security community locally here. You wouldn't believe it. Snarky, maybe he'd be snarky a little bit. And I love that about him. It's a good group of people. I love to see that. I can almost, I can count on the same people being here every single morning. We need to share the word, though. How do we get this out? That's the other thing. How do we get our message out to more people to help more people? How do we help more people? And that's what we want to do. How do we help more people? So you know that the training's there. You can go pay for the training, but all the training, the videos at least, are all on the channel as well. So if you got people that are looking for training, how do we get them here? That's what I want to know. What certifications need to be trained on? Somebody mentioned the other day the CISA. I've heard some people talk about the CRISC from ISACA. Not says, I mean, what can we do to help? How can we help? Is there just a general rant session, general sit on the soapbox? I don't know. Talking on the curb here about what the community needs. What does the community need? This is a security community. If you're in an area like out here in the DMV, you're going to be in a community because you're going to see the same people are going to show up again and again. You're going to run into people over and over again. You'll see them. Just the way things are. That's how you like to do it. First RMF, second cyber jobs. We got the mornings. You probably wouldn't want to cover the same topic every morning. We kind of broke that up. We could, right now we've got today would have normally been an RMF day. Tomorrow would have been a control day. Yesterday we talked about vulnerabilities. Monday we talked about Security Plus, and what the heck is Tuesday? I don't remember what Tuesday is. We can go through and we can redo that schedule, that weekly schedule of what. Security tools is Tuesday. That's right. How can I forget that? So what is it we fill those days in with? What is it? I know there's been really positive feedback on the Tuesdays because that's when we do the labs. We started building the cyber lab out. We've got up to where we've got the VirtualBox installed. We installed Kali. We installed Windows. We're almost ready to start using tools in that lab. Threat intel, talk sources for threat intelligence, big help. Yeah, there are some great sources, paid and free. Paid and free in threat intel. Bill, you got a good point. There's threat intel. There's the intel hunting jobs that are out there. That's fairly new. A lot of places are still building their hunt capability, and what that's all about. I like that, Bill. I'm gonna take your. I'm gonna write on my gigantic notebook. I forgot to bring a notebook. I usually have a notebook over here to write these things down because you guys are smart. And I like to get that. Source for threat intel. What do you think about expanding that? Threat intel, like hunting. What do we do with intel? What do we do with intel? We get these IOCs from a lot of these threat intel companies provide these IOCs or indicators of compromise. What do we do with that information? Where do we go with it? I like threat intel. We're gonna have to watch the channel next week. I'll put some kind of poll out there. We're gonna build the schedule. This is gonna be the Monday through Friday schedule. The other thing we talked about was a recap session, bringing back the old Wheel of Beer. And let me see if I've even got the icon for Wheel of Beer anymore. Yeah, I don't have Wheel of Beer on here anymore. It's been that long. I don't even know it's on this computer. I don't even. We used to have the Wheel of Beer where Jimmy and I would get together and try a beer out and then we'd talk about the week. Talk about what happened that week. That might be something to bring back for a evening show. An evening show. Got a lot of stuff. I love the conversation, guys. Keep it going. Keep it going. Kensington DMV is big for cyber jobs. Done with this area. My plan is move to the West Coast. A lot of people are leaving. Depending on where you're at in the West Coast. California has a big exodus right now. A lot of people are leaving California, as you know. There are Silicon Valley, and there's a lot of jobs out there. The big thing I've seen lately, this is just kind of from the folks I know, there's a big push in the gaming. The folks that build games are really getting hit with a lot of ransomware, a lot of cyber, a lot of attacks coming at the game making industry. Seems to be a lot of jobs in gaming, in the gaming. Bill, so tracking down sources for free threat intel would be great. Cash-strapped industry, yeah, we're all in that cycle. Even financials. Financials, just work. If you've ever, I worked a lot. I worked a ton of my career in the government, both as a GS, a civil servant, a contractor, a military service person. I worked a lot through the government, and I kind of took a break from that, and about 10, 15 years ago, moved out into the private sector. Here come the dogs running downstairs because nobody should be walking outside, I guess. I moved out to the private sector, and I worked in financials. I worked in pharmaceuticals, automotive, a bunch of different industries like that. And going from the government to financials, the financial market was crazy because there was so much money flowing around. I worked for a hedge fund. Can't tell you the name because of the non-disclosure, but they just had everything. Lunch was brought in free every day. It was like a little gas station supermarket thing there that you just go in and take what you want. You want a Red Bull, go take a Red Bull because it's there. Candy bars, chips, coffee, whatever was just there to take because they just had a ton of money. It was the weirdest place coming from the government to that. But even these financial organizations are watching their dollars now. That's the market we're in. So I think, Bill, everyone's cash strapped right now. So you're right. What can we do for free? And really, that's what we're doing on the other side. We're building this lab. We're building the cyber lab for the very same reason, for free, because a lot of people getting in this industry don't have money to put into it. And I wish, in Brada, that GRC, we talk about building a GRC. It's one of the things we're going to walk through as well. There's a open source version of a GRC tool, a governance, regulatory, and compliance tool. Because things like Archer are terribly expensive. Exacta, through the roof, man. These things are so expensive, but there are places you can go. And Bill, you got a good point. There's sources of free threat intel. Do they come with all the bells and whistles? No. Do you have to do a little more work? Yes, you're probably going to have to do a little more work, culling it, getting it where it needs to go. But does it have the kernel of information you need? I'm sure it does. It does. I don't know what Alex got going on here. Can't keep a job down. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. You're a funny guy, Alex. One thing you guys need to know: if you're going to come out here and work in consulting or contracting, those two areas, one of those two areas, you got to be on top of your game, man. This is the job talk of the morning. Is when that contract's up, the company that hired you isn't necessarily going to have you for the next job. And more than likely, they're going to say the contract's over. We've lost the contract. It's been rebid and it's going to someone else. That new company coming in may try to do what's called incumbent capture. And they're going to have a list of people they're going to try to take from the other company and bring over. But when that contract's over, that company is pretty much going to let you go. You got to go. If they don't have the contract and they don't have another place to put you, you're going to go. So you got to be able to move from one job to another in contracting and consulting. That's got to be your mantra. Always be ready to get a new job. That means you always have to be trained on the newest stuff. You always have to be certified on the newest stuff, so that when one contract's over, you can just move into another one. Out here in the DMV, like Mike was saying, there's a ton of cyber jobs. I've always went from one right to the next one because there's a demand for it. And once you get your skill set, if you're new in this field, once you get your skill set, you just move from one to the next one. A lot of times when the contract's coming to be rebid, you know it's coming. A lot of people start preparing to get a new job just in case. There's a lot to be talking. You're right, Mike. There's a lot to talk about around jobs, not just the job part, but that part of it. I didn't even think about telling people. If you go to work as a contractor or consultant, when that contract is up, unless you're working for a giant company that has a bench, they call a bench where you go to work. You work there for a week or two in between. Most small companies don't have a bench. When the contract's over, they can't pay you. You got to go. So you got to be ready to take care of yourself. You're really working for yourself. You're working for a contracting company, but you're not. You're a bit like cattle. That's just the long and the short of it. When the contract's over, you're gone. So you got to be ready to take care of yourself. You got to be you incorporated, and that's it. Applying NIST controls or prepare for the cyber maturity model. I forget what the other M is. CMMC. Musical chairs. Yeah, consulting can be musical chairs. That's how you end up meeting a lot of people. You meet people on a contract. Everybody goes out their separate ways, and you get by the third or fourth contract down the road, you're seeing the same people again. You're like, wow. Watch out who you piss off, because that person that's working for you on one contract may be your boss on the third contract down the road. Can be good, can be bad. Um, I've seen that plenty of times. So that's it. That's the story. I'm trying to the beat of the drum this morning is where are we going? You guys got, like Alex said, 10 days to think about information you want to feed me to build our program. What are we gonna talk about every day? So it'll be essentially this is gonna be the breakdown. We'll talk about what holiday it is, so you have that little bit of information. It doesn't take much time. We'll talk about a news story, a single news story, the top news story of the day, according to me, unless you guys send me something. And then we'll talk about a topic. And that topic will move around. We'll build that out. We'll have a plan for where we're going. That'll help me so I'm not scrambling every morning at 5:30 trying to figure out what we're going to talk about, what's in the news. Alex, is it worth talking about the CMMC? It's Cyber Maturity Model, whatever the heck it is. What is it? It's an actual acronym. Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, CMMC. Guess I was thinking about it. I see that acronym and it's just the maturity model. That's how. Where is your organization on that arc of building? Yeah, on the website. I'll put it on the website. I'll put it on the YouTubes as well. I don't know how many people. How many of you? How many we got on this morning? And watching on replay. Let me know on replay as well. How many people actually go to the Cyber Recon website? Got a few people. We got some folks out there. Yeah, I'll put a note out on the website that we're off. Yeah, so people don't have approach. Yeah, that's a long conversation. CMMC is one of those good things to know when you're looking for a job too. If you can speak intelligently to the CMMC, that maybe the thing people are looking for. No, we're working on getting on there. Where maturity model really tells a company, organization, where they're at on the playing field. Where are we at? We think we're advanced. We think we're doing things, and really you're still ad hoc in a lot of things. So you look at that. There's a new SP out, 855, I think, in draft, revision 1. That's a good one to talk about as well. Its title, I looked at it yesterday. Performance measurement. So NIST has this out. It's in draft still. It looks to be a pretty good document. Performance Measurement Guide for Information Security. This document provides guidance on how an organization, through the use of metrics, identifies the adequacy of in-place security controls, policies, and procedures. It provides an approach to help management decide where to invest additional security protection resources or identify and evaluate non-productive controls. It explains the metric development and implementation process and how it can be used to adequately justify security control investments. The results of an effective metric program provide useful data for directing an allocation of information security resources, should simplify the preparation of performance-related reports. It's actually in revision 2. Revision 1's final. This is revision 2 draft. I looked at it yesterday. Looks to be pretty well put together. I don't know, Alex. Maybe this whole metrics is a question. Maybe we put a whole metrics thing together with this one too. I think how many of you guys knew? 50. I think in the 50 series, I was thinking training for some reason. I think the training documents out like 850. When I heard 55 when I saw it come across the email yesterday, I was like, maybe it's training, but no, it's metrics. It's metrics, and I think it's the old. It used to align very tightly with the CMMC. It had the little 4 layers where you're growing the tree. I think that's this one. This revision 1. This revision 2. Oh, is it not how is it not available? try. Yeah, it does say it's not available now. I grabbed the wrong one. I maybe grabbed revision 1 yesterday. Yeah, strange. Okay. Yeah, I quit my day job. I just need I need one of those Patreon to support the bills. So yeah, I'll have to look at this and I'll see if I can find the document. It's open for comments, so the document has to be out there somewhere. Call for comments, performance measurement. Call for comments. Call for comments, not, I don't know. Anyways, it's interesting document to look at. So I think we've ranted for a while. And if you do want the RMF'er shirt, they're like $15. $15 for your RMF'er shirt at Cyber Recon. Go out to Cyber Recon. Alex, I will put on there. The new Cyber Trivia night will be the 16th of December. Is Cyber Trivia, and I'll put that will be out next week. Put that on the YouTubes as well. So, anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. I'd love to hear your comments. If you're watching this on the restream, if you're watching the replay later, let me know in the comments below what would help you. What would help you in security? What would help you in risk? We're actually, the majority of folks that we see on the channel are working in risk, and that's the truth. Not to say that security is not important. So we do need to talk about a lot of security stuff because they're so interrelated. So anyways, I guess I'll end the chat, end the conversation today talking about that. I think there's a lot of things we can talk about. If you want to see something new, you want to see something that we're not covering and you think we should be, throw it in the comments. I'm going to watch the comments today. I'm going to watch the comments through next week. We're going to build that schedule. We're going to build out what topics we're going to talk about. So if you don't comment and we're not covering things you don't want, if we're not covering the things you think we should be covering, that's on you guys. You guys got to tell me what you want to talk about. So that being said, I'm going to pull the plug on today's show. I appreciate you being here. It is early in the morning, like Alex says. You do get 10 days to sleep in. We'll be back on the 1st of December. The new look of where we're going with the show. Take care of this company. We got to take care of the company because that's what keeps everything rolling. Pays for the support staff, that kind of stuff. But anyways, you guys be good. Take care of your friends, your family, coworkers. Like the Bravos are going to say, take care of each other. We will see you on December 1st. December 1st, guys. So until then, be good and take care of the community. We will see you then.